Hello. If you want to learn how to do seriously good deck building, go see Strictly Better MTG. But if you want to know how not to build a deck, please stay tuned. This is a topic I haven't seen many other content creators delve into, and I feel Magic players have been done a disservice. No one is telling me what not to put in my deck. Not really. So here are some common pitfalls that no one else will tell you about. Don't use a can of tuna. That is not a card. Not even if you stack several cans of tuna together. They are nicely organized, true, but even as an aesthetically pleasing collection, they are still not a deck of Magic cards. Don't use a fork. That is also not a card. Business cards are getting closer, but still not quite right. A Magic card! You found one! Well done. No, not a Pokemon card. No, that's not this game. We aren't playing Pokemon today. This card shouldn't be here. This card belongs somewhere else. I don't choose you, Pikachu. I'm sorry, go away. Okay, back to the Magic card. It's a land. That's great. It's a red land, known by some as a mountain. It's a very good card. Unfortunately, you are building a green deck, so for you this card is useless. Go away, mountain. What we want are green land cards, known by some as forests. Go find some green land cards and bring them back. No, that's a leaf. No, that's another leaf. No, that's a literal forest. We want a graphical depiction of a forest, not a real forest. I know, I would have thought a real forest would be better too, but we are wrong, we thought the wrong thing, and I'm here to help you learn what is correct, and the vast majority of Magic the Gathering players do not use real forests in their green decks. Aha, you found them, well done. How many do you have? 2? That's not enough. 5,000. That's a smidge too much, settle down. We are building a 60-card deck for beginner players. We need 22 green lands, or forests, for our green deck. The number is 22 because that is how many trees like to live in the ideal forest. Any more and they start to have fights, and any less and they feel a little lonely. Choose whatever forest art you like. Not that art, that's an island. Not that art, that's a swamp. You're being foolish, it's plain to see that is a plain. Forests. Next, you need some creatures. Creatures are what you put in a deck to nibble on your opponent's face until they give up. But, and here is the important distinction, it is very important that you do not put live creatures in your Magic the Gathering deck and then get them to nibble on your opponent's face. That is frowned upon and is considered an illegal deck and will get you banned from your local game store. Instead, you want card creatures to go into your deck. The social norms of Magic the Gathering that are often unspoken are that it is far better for you to use a Magic card creature in your Magic card deck. No one would have told you this. They forget that beginner players wouldn't know this, but I don't. Because this is a deck for beginners, we will include creatures at many different mana costs. Mana is what you pay so your creature can come out of its room in your hand and play in the forest and enjoy hurting things it finds sneaking about. Your opponent is trying to sneak into your forest and eat the berries that represent your life. You have 20 berries. In games of Commander you have 40 berries because your forest is much larger, but beginner players will get a tummy ache if they eat too many berries, so a 20 berry game is best for you. So, which creatures do you choose? Get some creatures, some green creatures. Then sort them into piles of mana cost, 1 cost, 3 cost, and so on. You can tell what they are by the numbers, but you have to do some mathematical equations. It's not an easy game. To determine the true cost, not the lying cost, you must add the number circle to the amount of tree circles. For instance, Bear Cub costs 1 mana and 1 tree. But you aren't allowed to say it costs 1 tree mana. People misunderstand. They think you mean just 1 tree, or they think you said 1-3 and it all goes wrong. So, in Bear Cub, you add 1 mana to 1 tree. This gives you the CMC, or cool mana count, of 2. So, it goes into the 2 pile. Make piles from 1 to 6, and you should have a good collection of creatures. You can also add some artifacts and some spells like enchantments, instants, or sorceries. Let's have a look at the cards that you selected. These are all elves. Why do you only have elves? Are you some kind of Lord of the Rings fangirl? No? You have just always liked elves. Well, okay then. I believe that makes you what the children call a dork, but very well. We're making an elf deck. Okay, let's have a look at your 1 mana pile. Okay, well, they aren't very powerful. And they both kind of do the same thing, don't they? A bit repetitive, really. And also, why is that druid holding a sword? Doesn't he know druids aren't allowed to wield weapons made from metal? But yes, for a beginner, these cards are fine. The 1 mana cards cost 1 mana, which means they will be played first. Now let's look at your 2 mana pile. Dwynen's Elite seem like a good group of elfies. They seem very sensible. Elvish Visionary. That elf has very long arms. Her arms are what we in the industry call too long. I don't want to look at those lengthy limbs any longer. Aha! An artifact. Good. Yes, artifacts are items, but they can't fight for you unless they're creatures. Or vehicles which temporarily... Oh, never mind. Green spells cost 1 less. Well, this does seem a good card on the surface, but the thing you need to consider here is this card will force you to do extra maths. Now, when you cast your long-armed freakish elfie, you will need to subtract 1 mana from 2 mana, which will result in a total of 1 green mana as its cool mana count. Are you up to the task? Well, we shall see. Ah, instants, yes. Instant cards can be cast on your turn, or even on your opponent's turn. Yeah, really. I know it seems very rude, but I swear it's what people do, and they even remain friends afterwards, unless one of them is playing blue. This instant lets you turn a sword into a tree, which I suppose could be useful in some situations, but not all, so it's just as well that you only put 2 copies in. Time for the 3 cool mana count cards. Usually at this point is when I get a little tired and quite frankly overwhelmed. The decisions to be made regarding 3 CMC cards are fairly intense. It's where a lot of the action happens. There's a lot of pressure. Can we take a break for a moment? Thank you. Okay, I'm back and everything's fine and I'm very okay. Nothing is stressful about this for me at all. So, Imperious Prefect. Prefect? Do they attend a private school then? Uniforms are a little outlandish. Oh, wait, that card actually says perfect. Hang on, is perfect being used as a noun in this instance? Perfect isn't meant to be a noun. I mean, there's a perfect. The perfect crossed the road. It's raining cats and perfects. That just doesn't seem right. Oh well. They printed it and named it that for some inexplicable reason, and there's nothing any of us can do about it now, I suppose. This card, despite its name, does seem adequate. I can see good reasons to include this card. The buffing effect, the ability to make elfies. Yes. What? What do you mean you just put her in because she's pretty? Well, yes, her hair is purple. Well, I'm glad you're happy with that, but that's not really a sensible decision-making process you've been using. Okay, on to the next. Elvish Archdruid. This card is excellent. Now surely this card you chose for its very useful words, and not for its prettiness. What? The Archdruid is the purple elf princess's great uncle? He supports her in all her endeavours. No, that is silly. That is very silly, and you should be ashamed. Deck building isn't just for fun, you know. It's about strategy. It's a puzzle with infinite pieces. Okay, no, not truly infinite, but you have to admit there are a heck of a lot of magic cards. Ah, another artifact. Oh no, I think I know why you chose this one. It's the Elvish Archdruid's staff, isn't it? No? Oh, that's a relief. I admit I was worried. No, it is not the purple elf princess's staff. Yes, they both have flowers on them. Oh, fine, have it your way. Okay, more 3 cool mana count cards. That's good. Doesn't cause me any feelings of stress or discomfort. I'm enjoying this part of the process very much. Okay, Descendant's Path. Well, there's a lot of words on this card. 7 lines of text, none of it flavor. Are you sure you want to include that? It's like reading a novel. Okay, let me read the whole thing then. Oh yes, that could be good, I suppose. You have all elfies in this deck, correct? What do you mean, kind of? It's very cute? What is very cute, Gem? Well, this seems fine. Oh, and it's an enchantment. That's a spell that stays around. It just sort of hangs about, somewhat awkwardly, and sometimes you want to put it near your lands, but no, it isn't a land. But then if you put it near your creatures, that doesn't really feel right either. Spider's Ilk Armor. Gives your creatures reach? Yes, please. Good. I don't want to know. Gem, I just don't want to hear it. A sorcery, aha. Sorceries are spells that wished they were instants, but sadly for them they were made up by a very lazy wizard who didn't put the effort in when they wrote it. You can only play a sorcery on your turn, so some players call them polite spells. Good for creatures, I suppose. Oh, that's all the 3 cards finished? Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you, it's done. Oh, okay. Okay, let's get on to number 4. Lissalana Huntmaster. I knew a girl named Alana once. She was a real nasty piece of work, I'll tell you. What on earth are those dogs? Okay. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may... Ah, rightio. Yes, that's a good card. No, he is not. No, he is not dating the pretty purple elf princess. In secret? The elf king doesn't approve? Good grief, Gem, you're on a whole other level here. This isn't what that game is meant to be about. Okay, now we have a legendary creature. These are creatures you can only have one of out at a time. Why? Because there's only one of them. They're like heroes, I suppose. They're unique. Every peasant is unique? Well, yes, I suppose so. Okay, just don't think about it, okay? Okay. Oh, right. Yes, she does look like she'd be the pretty purple elf princess's older sister. No, you're quite right. She does look like her older sister. You're correct there. I'll not fight you on that one. She gains you life. Good. That can be useful. Yes, I suppose if her younger sister were holding the staff of the wild magus, she'd be gaining you life too. Now your last creature... Gem, this isn't an elfsie. This isn't an elfsie at all. It's a fox. What do you mean, possibly? This is absolutely and 100% a fox. No, you aren't meant to put in creatures just because they are so cute. Look, I've let all your other decisions slide because you're a beginner, but this is unacceptable. You can't have a giant fox in this deck, and I can't see any reason why you would want to. A fox pet for each sister. No. Take them out. Take them out! All right, we just had to cut away there for a little bit. It turns out having 2 foxes in the deck isn't the worst thing you could do as a beginner, and was explained to me in some detail. I had some tea and a biscuit, and I'm feeling much better now. This is a beginner deck after all. I admit I have difficulty practicing my relaxing skills sometimes, so please forgive me for my earlier manner. So, there we have it. Now you have finished making your deck. Well done! What's that? Is it a good deck? Oh, don't ask that. Don't think about it. Look, you made a deck and there are exactly 0 cans of tuna in that deck. You've done very well. I'm proud of you. Now off you go, you little scamp, off to your local game store to try out your new deck against other players. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time. Bye!